So on my quest to take down the Profit Taker as quickly as possible, I've gone through a few different weapons and a few different Rivens. And I've kind of changed some builds around a little bit, and I want to try out the Tombfinger. So I've just built one of those, I've thrown 5 or 6 Former on it. I picked this up for, I think, 160 Platinum or something. I'm just going to dump about 50,000 Kuva into it, hopefully get something to bring it up a little bit. And the purpose of using this is that it has innate radiation, so you can mod it for 2 elementals and have an innate elemental, so that you can skip 3 separate phases. But the radiation isn't really cutting it as it is, so I'm hoping to get some extra multi-shot. I'd really like some critical damage. I don't need critical chance, so I wouldn't mind some elements as well, or even some fire rate would be nice, and just try and give this weapon a bit more of an edge against the orbs. So we'll see how we go with that. That's a pretty nice roll. I wasn't expecting that straight off the bat. Damage, this is a good roll for just general play, but because I'm using Chroma to take down the orb, damage isn't that amazing. But still, that does look very pretty. Let's keep going. So about 50,000 Kuva is about 20 rolls, and that is the opposite. About 20 rolls total. I'll go up to 20 on this one. See what we get. Wouldn't mind damage to Corpus either. Just a bit of faction damage will definitely help out with the radiation. Definitely don't want critical damage, or negative critical damage, that is. Would have been nice to get a negative on here as well. Don't think so. I don't really have any other problems with the way this gun functions. Like, I haven't used Tombfinger before today. I think it runs pretty well. No. Cold and multi-shot. Cold and multi-shot. What have I got on there? I'm just going to have to scroll up my other page. So I'm running Vial Radiation Heat, so I don't want cold. Because I don't need more damage in Viral. So I'm not going to go for that one. And for those of you that don't know, the elemental damage is more important than base damage when you're using Chroma, just because of the way his Vex Armor multiplies damage. That's why I had to think about that one. I don't know how well this will go. I still think it'll be a big boost, so hopefully it'll be enough. Like, I think I'd be fairly happy walking away with that, but I'd really like to get some crit damage on there. Critical damage, damage, and electricity. Electricity I don't want, because that will combine with heat and make radiation. Which I do want more radiation damage, but I don't want to combine the heat element into that, which is a shame. Plus I think multi-shot is more important than base damage. Impact and punch through. Don't have much to say about that one. No. There also won't be a demonstration at the end of this video, because the build that I've got on there is suitable for the orbs, but it's not something that I would usually run, so it doesn't show off the capabilities of this Riven very well, or the weapon as a whole. But hopefully it's successful, and you'll see it in a upcoming orb video. I wouldn't mind fire rate as well. Can't have electricity though. It does feel like it fires a little bit slow. It's probably my only gripe with it. Like, not a lot, it's not enough to ruin the weapon for me, but just having a little bit extra would go a long way, I think. Negative critical chance. That's right. The damage in the multi-shot looks nice, but obviously it doesn't matter too much. No. Last one. No. So I think that was our first roll. So I just wasted 19 rolls worth of Kuva. I dropped below 100k as well. A bit awkward. So we can see what it does to the weapon stats here. Let's see, that makes quite a difference, particularly to the radiation. Goes from 344 up to 1600. So I'm pretty happy with that. So because this is for Chroma, I don't have Serration on there. This is basically Serrational on its own, and a bit more. Oh, sorry, Hornet Strike. bit more, and a whole bunch more multi-shot, another one of these attached. It's pretty nice. It really pulled that up by a lot, so I'm hoping that'll be enough to carry it over. But yeah, if I was going to be doing this as a regular weapon, I would have the 2 statuses for corrosive in there. So I'd have corrosive radiation with a decent status chance, and a lot of multi-shot. And obviously Hornet Strike would be replacing the 3rd elemental there. But yeah, that's it for today. I want to roll the Riven for the Battle for similar reasons, but that'll be a separate video that I'll record shortly after this one. Alright, so after rolling my Battle Riven a few times, I decided I'm going to throw the last 25,000 Kuva onto my Tombfinger here, because I'm not 100% happy with it. Let's see if we get lucky. As usual with the Riven system, I'm not expecting much, but it would be nice. Critical chance and heat. The critical chance is fine, but I don't really need it. Damage and toxin. No. Definitely not. Look at that mess. Get out of here. Fire rate and damage. No, not damage. Shame. Is that the last roll? We got one more. Nada. Plus zoom. Damage to infested. Really? It's alright. Ooh, it's weird to see that down so low. I was sitting at 1 million for like 6 months. Slowly dropped after that. Oh, that's alright. Probably have to go and farm some more. In the meantime, I'll see if I can get some speedy runs with the runes that I've got. See what happens. Right, so it's been a few days. I went out and farmed another 50,000 Kuva. I've got my Battle at a place that I'm happy with, having on there, but I'm still not 100% happy with this one, so I'm going to dump the 50k in here, see if we get anything better. And yeah. Still looking for the same things I was before. I think this is still fine. I was testing it against the orb and it does alright, but I know it could do better, so I'm not really one to settle for okay when I know that we can push it further. Love to keep the multi-shot and just reroll the damage stat, but of course, Rivens are Rivens. I have no control. I'll just gamble until I get lucky. This video is going to be as long as it takes to get this Riven where I want it to be. I think I put 150k into my Battle Core to get that where I wanted. I think. But that's alright. I use the farming of Kuva as a good place to go and level all my equipment, so it doesn't bother me too much actually farming it. I do not enjoy this rolling, like doing this though. Critical chance and damage to Corpus. It's interesting. I'm fine with faction damage and crit chances, alright. I don't know if those two are enough to weigh up just the multi-shot that I've got though. I've got a negligible passive, positive, and no negative. Not great. Don't care about IPS. Critical damage and heat. I don't want heat. I've decided I don't want any elemental. Critical damage is nice, but just having that one positive doesn't outweigh these two. Care about RPS. Got a couple left. Electricity, heat, reload. I read that as negative 254% reload. I'm glad it wasn't. Last one. Heat, fire rate, and negative crit chance. I don't think so. Alright, time to go and farm another 50k. I'll see you in 2 seconds. Here we are again. Just finished farming another 50 thou. I'm going to dump that straight back into my Tombfinger Riven. See if we get any luckier than we have so far. Negative damage. Ooh. I'm not sure how much more I'm going to bother with this Riven if I don't get something out of this 50k. I don't really have any interest in the Riven system, and I definitely don't enjoy farming Kuva, so it's like, how much effort do I really want to put into it? But at the same time, I'm not really interested in just going out and buying an ideal one. For platinum, obviously. It's interesting. Critical chance, I don't need so much. Damage to corpus is alright. I think if that was critical damage I would have taken that. But it's not quite enough. Zoom in cold? Well, that's interesting. Multi-shot, critical chance, plus damage, negative 40% reload speed. Well, I'm on Toxin Chroma, so the reload speed doesn't matter. That multi-shot is a tiny bit lower, that damage is a tiny bit lower, but you get that crit chance. That's a pretty good roll, I would say. What are the odds that I would get something better than that? Let's just go and have a look at what it looks like on the weapon. I mean, I know the odds are astronomically low. That's up to 165%, so already over 100 without that. Reload goes from 1.7 to 2.8. I realise this isn't even my orb build. That's Toxin Cold, Viral Heat, Radiation, yeah. Radiation is still half of that. We got nuts crits. I'm going to keep that for now, I think. I'm going to go out there and test it and just compare it to what I've, because I've measured the times with the other ones. Just see if it's faster. See if it's fast enough is really the big thing. See what happens. Because really, all I want that Riven to do is buff the innate radiation. And that Riven seems to do that. But I guess we'll go find out.